Good morning, sports fans. This is George with Custom Tied Flies and Guide Service. Um, this morning we're going to be doing a tutorial on the pheasant tail nymph. It's a pretty old pattern. Excuse me. So without further ado, let's go through the materials. You're going to need a nymph hook. This is a 3906B Mustad. I'm going to tie this one big, so this is a number 8, but excuse me. So the thread, I'm using Danville Flymaster in a 140D brown because I'm going to put lead in the body. If I wasn't putting lead in the body, then I'd use black. You need a pheasant tail, and you're going to use the long barbs on the side. You see how these are long and these are not. Excuse me. You're also going to use peacock herl. That's what the thorax is. And like I said, I'm putting lead in the body. So I'm using hairline lead wire in a 0.02. Excuse me. So, and that's about it for materials. The pheasant tail is the tail, the body, and the wing case. I start my thread up by the head. It'd be helpful if I used the right color thread. I start my head up by the eye of the hook. Lay down a thread base, and I'll lay the thread base down to where the bend and the shank come together. I'm going to put my lead wire in. There's a couple of different ways to do this. You can start your lead wire and then wrap over top of it, like so. Or you can hold the tag end up. I usually start my lead body right about where the gap starts. See right here where the point of the hook is? This distance right here, that's the hook gap. So I usually start my lead there, and I bring it forward. To about where the thorax is, about the middle where the thorax is going to be, a couple of eye widths back from the eye. You'll notice that I have my lead on a bobbin. I'm using old scissors to clip the ends of the lead wire. Those are very old scissors. They're very dull and they can't really be used for much of anything else. So bring your thread forward in loose wraps over top of the lead so that you can get to the front where you can put a stopper knot / ramp. Then bring it back over top of the lead so you can tie another stopper knot / ramp. Then run back and forth over top of that until it's all covered. Next is going to be your tail. And usually on a new pheasant tail, I take my wire cutters and I cut the bottom of the quill off. That way I can get right to the fibers that I want. So for the tail, you're going to want 3. You don't really want the ones off the very bottom because they're very thin, and this is a big nymph. So you kind of got to fool around with it a little bit till you get the 3 that you want. And you're going to tie them in. You want them to be about a hook shank in length. So just measure it across the top of the shank, then move it down, pinch, and then those fibers will lay right across the top of the lead. So you start bringing it in there, and that helps with that transition. Oh, that looks a little long. And that one broke. Let's try this again. So a hook shank, that's better. And you don't need these. Okay, now with when you're building the body, you're going to want several. Say I have several. You want to try to line the tips up best you can. And you're going to put these in with a pinch wrap at the back. Right here where the base of the tail is. Now you can twist them together or not. Twisting them together might help you get up over the hump. And you're just going to cover, oh, I forgot the wire. For the copper wire rib, I'm going to use the UTC wire. In copper, size BR. You could use size small, but I got the BR handy here, so just want to wrap that on. Make sure you give yourself plenty. On the bigger flies, you're likely not going to make it all the way with your first set of pheasant tail fibers. So when you start the fly, in order to maintain a tapered body, you want to tie in by the tips because that's the thinnest part of the fibers. But when you make a transition, you don't want to do that. You want to tie in with the heavy part. And you just match that. Get it up to where you're going to start your thorax. Okay. Now this is a good time to put your wire in. You want your wire to be counter wrapped. And the wire is there for reinforcement. Okay, next you're going to use more pheasant tail fibers for your wing case, and you want those to be on the heavy end also. You want when you tie this in, you want the dull side up, so that way when you flip it over, you have the shiny side showing. That's good. And you want to capture those. Just pluck off the strays. All right, and then your peacock herl. And when peacock herl comes strung like this, the natural desire is to try to pull them off this way, but it works a lot better if you pull them off this way. You can select which one you want and just pull them out. I don't like to use any more than about 2 or 3. So I tie them in by the fat end. I tie them in right to the back of where my wing case is going to fall. All right, so this is your thorax. Sometimes you got to give your Danville Flymaster a spin to the right. That tightens the thread fibers up. It's a flat thread, so you have to do that. Take another 1 or 2 for security, and bring your wing case forward. You want to use your thumb to flatten that out. There's some people that like to put legs. They're not really required, but you want to put legs. Just use the tips off of that wing case. Grab you a little bit like that. That didn't turn out right. Nope. So remember, your thread is going to try to torque your stuff. So when you're doing your legs on the near side, you want to try to compensate for that. Sometimes it's easier said than done. That's better. All right, now this is a point of contention. Here, I'm going to put a drop of head cement. There are some people that will go to this damn UV resin, and they're going to, put UV resin all over the wing case and everything else. And I don't do that. And one of the reasons I don't do that is because UV resin is very dense, and it will turn your fly upside down, and it won't ride right in the water. That's just me. This is what the pheasant tail looks like when it's done. The wing case. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was helpful. And I'll leave you with this thought. There are no rules in fly tying. You tie what you want to tie. This whole internet thing has got people's confidence off, and they tend to, they'll make what they think is good or whatever, and then they post it and they ask people what they think, and that's fine. And you don't want to ask for constructive criticism. That's good. But to be honest with you, your best constructive critic is the fish. Tie it as close to the picture or the video that you're tying from, and then go ask Mr. Fish. He's the ultimate decision maker. I can't put it any more succinct than that. So this has been George with Custom Tied Flies and Guide Service. You can find us on the web at www.custom-tied.com. That's CUSTOM dash TIED.com. Have a splash. Don't forget the dash. And you can also find us on Facebook. If you search Custom Tire 02, you will find the Custom Tied Virtual Fly Shop Facebook page. Excuse me. If you enjoyed this tutorial and found it informative, please like and subscribe. There will be others. Happy tying.